Hi there, welcome back to a new video. Today I am going to be creating for the first time in my Christmas in the Country journal, and I'm going to share with you why this journal is going to make your Christmas journaling so much easier. I realised that I haven't sewn on that bauble yet. I've got a few bits and pieces that I'm going to be playing with today. These have just arrived and it is a lovely Disney Christmas collection. This is ad gifted. This was sent to me by Paper Maze to play with. I've also picked up some green alphabet stickers, these little cuttables. I love anything like this. And then I have picked up these papers, Simple Stories. It's the Say Cheese classic mouse collection, and it looks very, very cute. So I will leave a link to these down below, and I am going to play in my new journal. I will leave a link to the journal down below where I made it. Look at these stickers, aren't they cute? I don't have a trip to Disney over Christmas, but I wanted the papers anyway because they are adorable and we're a Disney family, so why not? So let's pop these to one side. I still need to print off my photos, but I want to share with you why this journal is so special and how this journal can actually work for you. So like I said, I'll leave a link to this down below if you want to go and see how I made it. But basically this journal is one that is going to see us through the years. It is literally just going to be a page at Christmas, and each Christmas we will come in and create our next Christmas story. So there's no stress, just a page a year, and we will see how this goes. The reason I've called it Christmas in the Country is because we moved to the country a couple of years ago. I meant to start this, I hadn't got round to it. I saw this little golden book and I thought that was perfect for us. So if you are somebody that struggles to document Christmas, this could be the perfect solution for you. I kind of feel I need one about our house, so maybe that one needs to go there, and then we'll start off. This, in case you're wondering what this is an old maths book of mine from when I was a child. I thought it would be really fun to include. Right, I need to print some photos and I need to get storytelling. Really hope you'll enjoy this, and I hope it inspires you to maybe de-stress the December journaling. This is something I've been talking about quite a lot recently. I think because for so many years I found December journaling so stressful, and it's such a shame because it was the years when the kids were younger, and every year I would try and it just didn't happen. I'd always start really well, really good intentions, and it just didn't happen. It was only until sort of more recent years that I found a way that suits me. But this is just completely different. By the way, if you're interested in how I am now documenting December, sort of more, I don't do daily, but I do as and when I can. I did share a video the other day. I'll leave a link to it down below. But this journal is quite different from the one I'm actually working in today. So this one is completely simplifying December. This is literally just doing a couple of pages and that's it. So it's completely different to what we would usually be doing December-wise, if that makes sense. So this one is just taking it to a complete another level, and we are just literally doing a couple of pages, as I said. These are really handy, and it doesn't matter that I've got nothing to do with Disney on these pages, because there's so many other bits and pieces here, like this one where it says love this. That's so perfect. And if you don't want the Disney bits, or what I'm going to do is save some of the Disney bits for other pages, but this particular one I will be covering up bits and pieces as well. So don't always be put up if you like some of the bits but the theming isn't 100% what you want. Quite often you can actually work around it as well, which is what I'm doing today. I just really loved it. The colours are perfect. I love this actual page with the journaling bits in as well. Tearing them down is really fun. Yeah, it just was working really well for me. I really enjoyed this type of journaling as well, having these kind of bits and pieces just to add your journaling, but there's no sort of like large areas where you journal, and so it's just easier to sort of like pop them down. I'm going to pop this on the back. Like I said, I'll leave a link to everything that I'm using. Hopefully it inspires you as well. I am going back to 2023. That's when we moved into our house, so that's when I want the journal to start. So I am going to document to back then, so I'm going to work on that page first. I'm also actually in the middle of a Zoom as I was recording this. It's with my Patreon community. We've had some really, really good conversations lately. I'll leave the link to Patreon down below. I love my journaling community so much. On this particular evening, we were talking about how we store our photos, and generally it's very craft related, our conversations that we have. But this one was actually very practical, and we spoke about obviously safe storage for all our photos. Majority of us that do this are memory keepers. We're there because of the stories we're telling, we're preserving. And it was very, very interesting talking about how we save our photos. So that's something I would like to ask you. Do you back your photos up on your phone? If your phone were to go missing, would you basically be screwed? That's the bottom line. It was just something really, really interesting actually speaking to the girls on the call, and it's just made me ask myself lots of questions. So yeah, there were some really, really good conversations going, and we also spoke about physical storage of actual photos. I really enjoyed this evening actually, and I definitely came away with a lot to think about. Like I said, I'll leave the link to the community down below if you want to go and check it out. We have an actual chat group. We do Happy Mail swaps. We have Zooms. We have downloads. We have online classes. There's a tier with actual Happy Mail that gets sent. So there's loads and loads that goes on. It's a really lovely community. I'm working on this little flip here. I popped some tape on the side, and I'm just playing with these boxes to get them to fit. This is literally all I am doing here for 2023. So if you are thinking you love this idea, but actually it's too late now, you can't go back over and document several years of Christmases, you can. I'm literally just doing a page, and actually I was feeling quite sad, thinking I wish I'd have done this years ago. I wish this idea had come to me when the kids were smaller. I would love to have a journal with maybe years 1 to 18 with just a page a Christmas, and it never ever occurred to me. And I have nothing. I've got some scrapbook pages, but nothing, because I couldn't get a way to make journaling work for me. I tried to be too perfect, and now I've got nothing. So actually I may well even go back, not this Christmas, that's for sure. It might be something I do next year. I might do another little golden book and literally just print a couple of photos from each year with the kids, and just do, I could even do them on each, couldn't I? That would be quite a nice gift. That's a really nice gift for somebody actually. I love that idea. Or it's a gift you could make for somebody else. It doesn't even have to have like every single Christmas, but just a collection of Christmas photos from over the years. Wouldn't that be so nice to gift somebody? It's really got me thinking now. I love that. And I think what I love about this type of journaling, like I said, is that you take away all the stress of being perfect and you just document what you can. Anything is a bonus. So, yeah, that's definitely got me thinking now. I'm quite liking that idea. So I'm using some of the papers again, but I've also got some of the stickers. There is a 12 by 12 sticker strip that sheet that matches. And again, it hasn't got huge amounts of Disney. It's just a really, really lovely sticker strip. Oh, I keep calling it sticker sheet. I've just literally gone back through some photos of when we first moved to our house, which was a month before Christmas, and just found some on my phone. So that's all I'm adding here. I'm going to do a little bit of like an introduction page. That will be this one because it was in our new house. So I'm going to pop this one on the front there. I thought that would be really fun. Just going to mat this on the white paper. But yeah, I fancy actually doing that now, going back through some older photos and just doing a little bit of a mishmash. I think that would be quite a fun thing to do. I think Christmas can feel very overwhelming with journaling. I think the other thing is as well, I know I'm like this, and I think a lot of people are as well. You don't want to be doing Christmas journaling over the summer months. You only have a small window where the rest of the year you kind of catch up as and when. But I feel quite differently with journaling. At Christmas, I kind of feel like it needs to be done. So there's always that kind of feeling that sits on your shoulders as well, that kind of feeling that it needs to get done. I also feel that you can have more than one type of journal as well. So for example, I am doing my larger day-to-day journal in December, but you can also have fun and do something like this as well. You don't have to think, oh, I've already started one journal, I'm not going to do another, because you can have fun with both, and there's two completely different types of journals as well. So if you're already thinking, oh no, I've already got my daily journal for December sorted, don't dismiss this idea, because I think it can still be fun. I also feel that you can have more than one type of journal as well. So for example, I am doing my larger day-to-day journal in December, but you can also have fun and do something like this as well. You don't have to think, oh, I've already started one journal, I'm not going to do another, because you can have fun with both, and there's two completely different types of journals as well. So if you're already thinking, oh no, I've already got my daily journal for December sorted, don't dismiss this idea, because I think it can still be fun. One of the questions I quite often get asked is where I get all my ideas from, and this one was simply from seeing this book. I saw it online, Christmas in the Country, and it made me think of us moving to the country, and I thought, oh no, I do my December journal already, and I like making mine from scratch every year, and it just got me thinking, you know, when you think, I want to use this, but how will I use it? And then I thought, oh, I know, I could just do a page a year. And so that's how this idea came about, which I think is a really, really fun one. And it will also be really nice, because every year will be so different actually, because our styles change, the types of sort of like pieces of like papers, and everything we use changes. So I think this will be really fun. My style will be so different from the front compared to the back. So I think that will be fun for me actually to look back on too. How are you doing with all your Christmas crafts and everything else? Have you got any projects on the go? Will you be making your own door wreath or anything like that? I was just thinking I quite fancy making some extra tree decorations maybe this year. I haven't since the kids were little, made gingerbread decorations. So I'm wondering if I've got some time to make those. That would be quite nice. The kind of like non-edible sort, the sort that we can sort of save for next year. Something I haven't made for a long time that I used to love making when the kids were younger, and that's popcorn garlands. Just popping loads of corn in the pan, letting it pop, and then threading it with cotton, and then draping it all around the tree. I used to really enjoy doing that. I haven't done that for a long time. I remember like when the kids were younger, and I would do it and sit and watch Christmas movies with them, and I'd sit on the floor threading popcorn, and I love having the white on the tree. I think it's a really nice contrast with everything else on there. So I don't know if I'll have time for that this year, but I was thinking about it today, thinking that would be quite nice, and just wondering what kind of Christmas decorations I could make. Every year I like to try and make something that's maybe a little bit different, or try something. I sort of like have my regular things that I do every year, whether it be making jams or nuts and Christmas bark and all various things, but each year I also like to try something a little bit different. I've started making an orange garland. That's something new to my list this year. Don't you just love this paper with the tags on? I knew I had to get this when I saw it, and I knew that it would be perfect for my Christmas journal. It's one of those though that, as you can see, a lot of it is stripes and things like that, so you can use it on other pages as well. Something I don't like is a Christmas collection that you can only use at Christmas time. Some of the things obviously you can only use at Christmas, but as you've seen me sort of use bits and pieces here, this collection's very versatile, so you can easily use it on other things. I'm going to pop some tags in just underneath my photo. I think that will look quite cute. And I'm just kind of wanting, I haven't obviously got loads and loads to write. It is only going to be a few bits and pieces. So I just want a few little like journal spots here and there where I can add a little bit of journaling. So if you are feeling a little stumped and not quite sure, sort of like wondering what on earth you can journal, especially if you are going to do one that goes back in time, you're obviously not going to remember conversations and things like that. I know I certainly can't. So what I have done is just documented briefly where we were, what we've done. For example, I've done about the dates when the kids came home, where we've done sort of what we've done before Christmas, like we've had a day out. I've also documented who's actually visited us on Christmas Day. I thought that was quite an important one. I haven't on these, I'm doing 2 different Christmases, 2023 and 2024. I haven't documented presents or anything like that. I haven't done what we've eaten, just the absolute basics. Where we went on Boxing Day, for example, we went to my sister's, so I've documented about that. I have documented us doing Secret Santa because that's become a bit of a family tradition on Boxing Day, so I thought that would be good. Family traditions would be a good one, actually. That's something that you can add. And also have a think about the type of thing you are going to want to actually read back on over time. Christmas dinner is pretty much the same, unless you've tried something different, unless there's been an incident where the turkey didn't get cooked or something got burnt or there was a disaster or something funny's happened. That would be really fun. My brother this particular year made a really good Black Forest Gatto. So the Black Forest Gatto is in there. That was the photo of my sister and myself and him. He made the best Black Forest Gatto. So I thought that was a fun one to include, because sometimes you can have a lot of photos to go through and you can't sort of include them all. So it's sort of like picking out the few that would be really good. I realised on this particular year we didn't take any photos of us all, and it wasn't until Mum was leaving and we put our coats on to sort of walk her out to the car and say goodbye, and I suddenly remembered we hadn't done a photo, so we quickly just did a selfie by the front door. This one here that I'm doing about now, the kids came home and it was their first visit to this new house, and we took the train and we went into one of the local little towns, and that was really sweet. So I've documented that as well. These little tabs, by the way, they're just little cuttable ones. They're not very expensive at all. They are so handy. I will leave the link to these below as well. They have different ones as well. I've done the Christmas one. I thought home for the holidays was perfect with the kids both coming home. They were coming home from uni, so that was really good. It's from Pretty Little Studio. I really love their stuff. It's really good. And being the cuttables, it works out a little bit cheaper than stickers as well. So I love this kind of thing, and they work out really fun to use and very easy as well, which I'm always a fan of. See the comfort and joy on the branding strip there? I will be using that as well. I try to use up pretty much anything and everything. So I'm going to add these. The colours all go really well as well. And it would just make the journal look really cute. Those colours are so pretty, aren't they? So I think I'm sort of like going to use these to finish off my page. What kind of things do you add in your December journals? I go into a bit more detail in my fuller journals where I have a lot more pages. So these ones are quite handy if you haven't really got much to write about, because you haven't really got the space, as you are just adding a few photos. So they are perfect, especially if you are one of those people that isn't a big fan of journaling. This type of journal will suit you really well. Just going to add a few more of these little tabs there. They just kind of pull it all together as well. If you've got the same kind of design popping up on different pages, I think it will look really good. Another tip I have, and that's when I'm making a journal, I like to keep all my stash in the one box or the one bag. I have a type of like gift bag where I keep all my Christmassy stash when I'm making mini books. So these bits and pieces will end up going in there. Then each time I come back, I can use some of the same bits and pieces. I will be getting ready to do this year's page soon as well. So I'll be looking forward to that. I'm using off my corner punch here. Doesn't that make a difference? I love that. And see what I mean? There is nothing sort of Disney-fied about this particular one that I'm adding. And the little bit at the bottom are just a couple of little stamps. So I could quite easily pop a heart or something over them. So again, it's not fully Disney. So I'm quite pleased about that. I love these papers though. They're so cute. With the book itself, it's got some really lovely illustrations. I will be keeping some, and some I will be covering up. It will vary. And some of them I will let some of the story peek through. but the book won't be showing the whole story through it. It's not going to be one that I will be able to pick up and read afterwards, but it will have a few little bits and pieces here and there. I'm working on my next page now. This is going to be 2024. Again, keeping it really, really easy, really simple. And I will just be adding a couple of photos as well. I'm loving the colours of this book. They are so, so cute. So this particular one, we have started a new tradition in our family, and that's going to the pub on Christmas Eve. That just started with us moving to this new house, and I found actually with us moving we have started some new traditions, which has been quite fun. It's quite sad sometimes when your kids grow up and you miss all the things that you do when they were little, the Father Christmas visits, the throwing the reindeer food and all that kind of thing, but you do end up having new traditions, going to the pub Christmas Eve, playing cards. We've started as well having a Chinese takeout on Christmas Eve. So not Christmas Eve, but it's something that kind of brings us together as a family and something that we really enjoy. So sometimes you can't keep the same traditions, and that's fine, but you can move forward and make new ones, and they are things I will also be documenting in this journal, like this particular one of going to the pub together. I think that's a really nice one for adult kids. Even if you're not boozy, and like for example our son doesn't usually have a drink, he'll have a Coke. Aid's always driving because we like this particular pub, so he'll have a Coke as well. So it doesn't have to be that, you know, you're going out to have a boozy drink. It could be just going to the pub to have a Coke as well. This particular pub as well is so cozy. The first time we went there, it was after we'd just moved and we hadn't been there before, and it was seeing that there were ponies tied up outside. Some people were having a drink with their ponies in the pub garden. Other people had tied them up and gone in for a drink, and people's boots were like outside the pub, and it just felt like such a cozy kind of like country pub with a fire inside. It was lovely. This particular photo here, my brother read our tarot cards. I thought I would include that. Not something we're usually into, however, we're both very open people. But my brother brought them with him and we decided to do it anyway. And it was so much fun, and it's actually really had an impact on our year. It's been a real rubbish year, and a few times we've kind of like remembered what Gareth had said when he did our tarot cards, and it's kind of given us a little bit of hope of just sticking with this year, and it will get better. Got to give it time. And I don't know, there was stuff that he's kind of spoke about that he wouldn't have known we hadn't shared with anyone, and it kind of popped up in the cards, so it was very interesting. So the following day, and I am ready to journal. I'm really pleased with what I achieved yesterday. I'm just going to spend some time journaling, I think, getting this journal started, and see how that goes. So I've done my journaling. I am now just left to add the dates. I'm out of 2s. That's no good. Okay, but I know I've got my green here. I might just pop the date under here. Like that. Do remember your dates. It's so important. You will thank your future self when you check back. There we go. I need to find now some other alphabet stickers. Oh, that's another thing. That's last year's. Nearly putting on this year's date. Okay, 2024, and I thought the black would look quite nice there. Let's see what I can find. There we go. I just love this idea of short and sweet, and I just think having, in like years to come, having a whole journal made up with just a couple of little things each year and some photos will be really fun. There we go. I'm just going to show you this journal now. Christmas in the country, and then I've put here, spending our family Christmases together, home will always be wherever you are. All I want for Christmas is you. And no doubt I will add something else on there at some point. So there is our page. That is when we moved. Sorry, the sun's starting to come through. When we moved into our house, November 2023. And not all of the pages I want to cover. I like, haven't even read this through actually. Christmas was coming, and if that was not exciting enough, Betty, Bob and their parents were going to the country to spend Christmas with grandmother and grandfather. When they arrived at the train station, there were all hugs and kisses all around. And then they piled into grandfather's sleigh. That's so cute. Then we've got us. And again, I'm not covering up everything. I've covered up some of the pony, but that's absolutely fine. Journaled underneath the photo. And I love this here. Do you see what I mean? I haven't, this is it for 2023. That's all I've documented. And then over to 2024. That's all I've done again. Just a few little facts. And that's it, 2024. And then we will be on to 2025 over here. I love this idea. Obviously, if I wanted to do a couple of extra pages, I could. But I'm liking this idea of keeping it short and simple. I will still be doing my December journal, but this for me is just a very special journal that would just be for the Christmases in this house. Keeping it short and sweet, but if you do struggle to keep up, I think this is the perfect way. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful as well, and maybe sort of like thought of a way that you could actually document December without it feeling too overwhelming. I think this is definitely the way if that's the case for you. Let me know what you think. I will speak to you down in the comments section. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.